Stand up for Jesus, ye soldiers of the cross. Lift high his royal banner, that must not suffer loss. From victory unto victory, his army shall he lead, till every foe is conquered, and Christ is Lord of all.
Hey, what's up, guys? Written close to 180 years ago, those were the strains of Stand Up for Jesus. The hymn commemorated the death of Dudley Tyne, a preacher who relentlessly stood against human slavery and evil that ran smack in the face of human rights. A follower of Christ is not called to be a spineless jellyfish. The Master took a stand against the deeply encrusted hypocrisy of his time and paid for it with his life. His predecessor, John the Baptist, was no less. He lost his head as he spoke out against the king's blatant marriage to his brother's wife. A company is said to be in good standing until it goes belly up. Well, you ask, what's this got to do with me, man? The first stand you can take is in worship. All servants of God, kings, prophets, priests, and people are summoned to come bless the Lord. All you servants of the Lord who stand by night in the house of the Lord. Standing in worship is an attitude of honor and reverence before the enthroned one. When Hannah presented her firstborn Samuel to the high priest Eli, she reminded him that she was the woman who had stood praying in the temple. You and I can stand in prayer, bringing the needs of a searching and needy world before God. King Solomon also stood with uplifted hands as he made his dedicatory prayer for the temple he was inaugurating. Standing up to face your challenges or enemies reflects an attitude of victory, resolve, and commitment. As God commissioned Joshua, he promised the new general that no man would be able to stand before him all the days of his life. Cities, people, kings, and soldiers. Why? Even the Jordan River couldn't stand before the man. Believer, this is the stand you need to take as you dig your heart deep into the missionary call of God on your life. And if you have answered the call to ministry, then you can draw encouragement from Elijah, a prophet of no small repute. It is written that he stood before the Lord. This is a stand that is backed by the authority of God. Certainly, this is an assurance that the Lord is with you and confirms all you say with his seal of signs, wonders, and miracles. So rise and take a stand, my young friends. All right, what can you take home from this message? Do you take a stand for your faith among your peers? The Lord will give you strength and courage to speak up. You have no idea how the Holy Spirit can take your weak and trembling testimony and use it to pierce somebody's heart. Think about the 3 Hebrew young men standing in the accused box before Nebuchadnezzar for not bowing to the king's statue in worship. It was an either-or situation. Bow down and worship that statue, or face the oven. They would have been scared, no doubt, but they took a stand in the name of Yahweh. Your situation may not be as grievous, but the stand you take is important to the Lord. It's not uncommon to hear people talk behind your pastor or fellow believers? How do you respond to backtalk? If there are accusations, check it out and see if it's true. Ask the person involved. But if it isn't true, take a stand and don't let your brothers and sisters be maliciously abused. It's important that you be loyal to the church or fellowship you belong to. It's where you were spiritually nourished and built up, and you owe it to the leaders and members. That, my friend, is body commitment. Ultimately, there's a gap or breach in the wall between God and the nations. God told Ezekiel he was looking for a man who would build the breach and stand in the gap. It's metaphorical speech, that stands for a faithful intercessor for the nations to God. If God is calling you to be a gap intercessor, respond to his nudge by the Spirit today. Don't put it off once you are sure it's his voice. You may not receive ministry reports about the results of your prayer, but rest confident that your prayer adds up before the throne of God. So therefore, my friend, put on the armor of God and stand firm. Nothing can shake you. Take a moment to like, subscribe, or comment. Share this message on your Facebook page as well. Thank you and God bless you.
Lift high his royal banner that must not suffer long.